Okay, g'day viewers. Well, since this microwave is nearly pretty much dead, I'm going to have to part this scenario out, I think. That mott will go accompany that mott. I might make a 4 kV mott stack here. Stick them together on a little board and ballast 2 of them, and the voltage will step up again to compensate for the losses when I ballast that one alone. So I should have a pretty good output with 2 motts being ballasted. It's still just as fun when they're ballasted. They just last more than 5 minutes, so I can pop things with those. Anyway, got some good micro switches, a good little 12 volt transformer there, vacuum fluorescent display in there, little piezo buzzer, some good Panasonic capacitors, little relays. Now let's pull this thing apart. It's dead, Jim. Now viewers, the magnetron's out. Nice big magnets in there, I kept those. There's the end of the actual tube itself. In fact, the actual vacuum tube, the valve itself is there, so that didn't arc away. That pink thing you do not want to break. That's beryllium oxide ceramic. It's deadly stuff, so don't break that. I'm going to pry this cover off here, have a look underneath. So, looks like it's got to break those clips off and this should come off. They don't make bloody magnetrons in Japan anymore. They're either Samsung or LG mags, I think now. Toshiba and Panasonic magnetrons you don't see anymore. Pretty much all Samsung make these now. I want to know what's behind this cover here. Ta-da! Some of the ferrite inductors there. They go to the magnetron. That's the fine tuning. You can see that one has been getting a bit hot, a bit discoloured, that one. That looks like, I think that was on the active side, I think. There's that sticker. Must have fallen off. Had an N somewhere here, had an N sticker on it. Must have fallen off. See, this was the active side where the high voltage went in from the mott. You see that's been getting kind of hot. Now let's keep breaking this thing down some more. Carefully. Unhook those, and if this front end will come off, get the first set of magnets out. I should be able to this heatsink's not, might be spot welded in. Oh, there it is there, neutral there. Anyway, let's pull this thing apart some more. We're always doing some double checking here. This thing here is definitely fine, so this thing here didn't trip out or anything. The magnetron is definitely dead, so this is still okay. That didn't trip from thermal overload, so looks like this magnetron really is dead. Got to get one of those LG and telewaves. These things there are hard to kill. Okay, viewers, it's all broken down to its bare necessities. Got the casing, the clamps for the magnets. These are the best parts, I reckon. The most useful parts, even stronger than an ordinary speaker magnet. Hey cat! Another interesting part, the brass seal. This stops microwaves from escaping. Come on kitty, watch where you're sniffing there. And there's the best part, the valve or the vacuum tube itself. Clever piece of technology. And that big aluminium thing here is a heatsink. No cat. Interesting piece of technology. Hey kitty, puss puss puss. Oh, that's how I get to the rest of this microwave. I wonder if these are working as ZVS driver, if these are the right value inductors. Interesting, I'll keep those. Next best part, the shaded pole motor fed, I keep that. Never know when I might have a spare part for one of my for a microwave. 25th of the 1st, 1994. It's all made by Panasonic, so these are the good old ones. They are still made in Japan. Nice fuse holder and the capacitor. I've made sure this is discharged. Always make sure these are discharged before approaching these things, because these can deal quite a bit of damage if you become on the wrong side of these things. Made in Japan, it's a Panasonic capacitor, 1 microfarad, 2100 volts at 660 milliamps. 2100 working voltage AC, residence capacitor, dairy lithium, no PCBs, made in Japan. Modern microwaves use a Chinese microwave capacitor made by Ningbo. Ningbo is a city or a town in China where 99% of bloody old cheap nasty electronics are made. They make vacuum cleaners, power tools, capacitors for microwaves, many components similar to that. So that's where they all come from nowadays, is Ningbo and New Japan. Let's give a ESR meter test. It is definitely a discharge. I've made sure that 4 or 5 times already off camera, so always make sure there's a discharge, because they've all did quite a bit of damage. 1 microfarad exactly, 0.96 ohms. Yep, the capacitor's in perfectly good shape. Sweet. And then the diodes, I'll keep those rectifying something else. I use them for something else actually, if they're okay, or although they did test bad, so they're probably buggered. SK brand capacitor. Capacitor, sorry, diode. Getting all mixed up there. As you can see, the best part from the microwave, even though it don't last 5 minutes, is a mott. It's a little infant, a toddler compared to this one. Yeah, that won't last more than 5 minutes, this won't last more than 2 seconds. Yeah, the older microwaves, pre-1990s ones, have these bigger ones in them. 1990s to the beginning of the inverter types, or these tiny ones. They shrunk them down, and that's it, gone. Inverters all the way now. More and more microwaves are using inverters, so probably within another 10 years, these won't be made full stop. So cut the secondaries off while you can and have fun doing that. I advise, if you don't know what you're doing with these bloody things, don't touch them, because they're deadly things. And that's the filament mining, it's only about 3 volts. I don't need that, I'm not going to do anything useful with that, so that will come off. And that'll go on there, and they'll stack together, and it's going to be its little companion. Yeah, there's more laminations on that one too, it's wider. Also a matches sheet of Panasonic part. And what is to arc this light bulb out since it's already blown. A lot of goodies. There's a control panel, nice old vacuum fluorescent display, nice transformer, and lots of other goodies on here. If this keypad was working, I would have made a time switch out of this, like I think Anton Baby did. That was a good idea. The power just goes into the relay, turns it on, and the circuit that turns the microwave on, you add to an IEC socket, which turns like a light bulb on, whatever the hell you want. It's like one of those time switches, but only with a vacuum fluorescent display, and consumer electronic grade. That's the brains of the circuit there, where the welcome to word prompting and all the programming and everything is stored under that chip. And more goodies there. And the part that's buggered, the membrane. Might arc that out, make all this spark up internally, give it a good end. And yes, I will, as Wayne suggested, a new battery popping chamber. Might be a bit dark and smoky, but we'll see how it goes. Next thing to do is remove my screw I put in there, take these feet off. Well, they're only just cheap clip-on ones anyway. Micro switches are always useful. Well, I'm going to definitely keep those. They feel a bit weird, but they should be alright. Yeah, it works. It's got a common and normally open contact. 0.1 amp 30 volt DC, 0.84 amp, 0.8 amp 40 volt DC. It's only a baby anyway, that's why it feels so weak. Made in Japan. Keep that for little DC projects, I suppose. They're always useful. Another one there. Can't get it out. Oh, I've got this thing stuck on the end of it. There we go. Orange one. 1 amp, 120 volt, 0.1 amp, 250 volt AC. Number one, made in Japan. Another one there, put that one there, this must be the main one. Yep, heavy duty that one. 0.1 amp, 125 volt DC, 16 amp half horsepower, 125 to 250 volt AC. 16, 3 amp, 250 volt. Number one, made in Japan. Normally closed, open, closed, open. Yeah, it's got how it wires up. Useful things they are. And I kept that hookup wire. Got some good hookup wire. And nice and light now. And that's the temperature. I think that's some sort of temperature probe. That. I'll take that off and keep that. Yeah, this one's for Anthony. High 1 voltage 1 rules. Little high voltage capacitor. Big high voltage capacitor. This top half here, it's the same bushings Photon uses on his transformers. There's actually a bit that slides in, and you can ride your own lid on this. This is all pre-manufactured, this top half here. They're pre-pressed in, as you would have seen in Andy's video. Except he shaved the tops of these off and they're hollow, and he's soldered on his electrodes. Very nice indeed. Compare the specs, the ABB one and the Panasonic one. Barely the bloody same size as the bloody specs label on this thing. You can see there, it's a big size difference. It does make a bloody good display piece though. Anyway, let's start having some fun. Okay viewers, I was going to try and salvage all that filament winding in one piece, because that's actually got quite a high temperature rating, that wire, but unfortunately I ended up destroying it in the process. So would have been a good high current winding for this transformer to put on the to put back on when I cut the secondary out, if I do that. So unfortunately the wires got destroyed in the process, because it would have withstood quite a high temperature while still delivering quite a lot of amps. Alright, be very careful here. Power on. Works good. Okay, unplug safety first. Yeah, primer's already warm. Lukewarm anyway. Just got to re-secure all this down. I'll connect it to my other mott. We have a dual mott stack. You do be very careful with these bloody things. They are lethal. One more final test before we pop this light bulb. Power's on. This one's being ballasted by the kettle. Okay, they're working alright, no nicks in the windings. Unplug safety first. Okay, that all works okay. Let's arc this light bulb out. Hopefully the bulb holder doesn't get popped. Okay, let's finish this light bulb off. Okay, I took it out of its holder. The holder didn't suffer too much damage, so I just started across inside the holder. That's all okay, so let's finish it off like this. The wire's all untangled here. That in there. Power on. There you go, arcing the light bulb. There you go. I think there's air in there now. She's gone short. Technically it still is an incandescent bulb. There you go, it's popped. Power off. Unplug safety first. The outside there is cool. Oh, right, viewers, another burn mark there, bloody hell. I've got to get the heat pick out doing it. I've got to get into the habit of getting the heat pick out every time. Anyway, not too much damage on there. Take that off there, it's all unplugged. Yeah, not very warm at all. Bulb still cooling down. That was the heat of the bulb that actually melted the floor. Got so hot. Oh, there we go, there. After the glass. There we are. Arc and a light bulb. Okay, viewers, that'll be enough for now. Thanks so much.